Yeah, I think it's not meant to be a large part of investors' portfolios, but it provides an alternate to India, and it's really an India plus one investment.
Hello from Mannheim. We're at the final of the 6th season of Future-Fundstars. The first time we've got an English-speaking finalist. With me is Asanth Sebastian from ACP Asset Management from Sri Lanka. Welcome here in Mannheim.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Tim, and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. You're having a fund or a strategy investing in Sri Lanka. Tell us a bit more about your investment philosophy and strategy.
Sure. So we've been investing in Sri Lanka for about 14 years. And we run various strategies for Sri Lanka. But in Europe, we have an actively managed certificate that's been investing in Sri Lanka for the last 3 years. That certificate invests both in the dollar bonds of Sri Lanka as well as the equity market in Sri Lanka. The investment philosophy is to look at opportunities in sectors that are going to outperform the broader economy, and look at value-driven investment where stocks are undervalued compared to the market, and take positions in those stocks. So that's really the investment philosophy that we have.
And maybe a few words about the industry, about the economy in Sri Lanka. Which companies or sectors do you invest in? Because a lot of our readers are probably not familiar with the Sri Lanka market.
Sure. So the Sri Lankan market's still quite small, and it is a frontier market when you look at other emerging and regional economies in Asia. We do have large companies. So, for example, Nestle was previously listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange. So we look at stocks in various sectors, from banks, financials, export-driven companies that export to the US, and parts to the likes of, say, Tesla or different companies like that. And then also we look at companies in the local economy that support the local economy in industries like tourism. So last year we had 2 million tourists visit Sri Lanka. This year we're anticipating about 3 million tourists. So that's quite a bright spot. And a lot of those tourists are Indian tourists, because we're 45 minutes from about 400 million people in India.
In the last couple of days, the US market was under pressure with the AI complication, let's say. How does this affect on the market in Sri Lanka?
So generally, we don't have much of an impact from US markets or developed markets. The market that we may have some impact from is the Indian economy, because we're closely linked to India. But over the last 2 days, we haven't seen much impact. The fund has in fact been up about 4% over the last 2 days.
And maybe some last words. Why should German investors invest in Sri Lanka? Because a lot of investors probably invest in emerging markets, but like a dedicated strategy in Sri Lanka is pretty special then.
Yeah, I think it's not meant to be a large part of investors' portfolios, but it provides an alternate to India, and it's really an India plus one investment. As India continues to grow, we will see Sri Lanka grow, and it's the only country in the region that is friends with all its neighbors, whether it be Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India. So it will eventually become a regional hub for the region, similar to Hong Kong to China or Singapore to ASEAN. And that's, I guess, one of the reasons why investors should look as Asia continues to grow.
Thank you very much, Asanth.
Thank you, Tim.